and the weekend, which is fast approaching.
It is. I like to call it today Little Friday because it's not quite Friday, but we're getting close. Thanks for hanging out with us. We got a lot to talk about today. The weather-wise, still such a dynamic pattern. We've actually got an avalanche watch that we're going to talk about a little in a few minutes. So, yeah, a lot to going on. Let's take a look at the snapshot. So, out of what should have been the rainy season, we got quite a bit to kick off the rainy season, to kick off our winter months in terms of precipitation, and then someone just turned off the tap and we stopped seeing the precipitation we needed. Now we're getting another round, and that's great news, because as we head into what will be the drier months, we need any precipitation that we can get. Today we've got the rain in the forecast for Seattle. You've seen about 1/4 of an inch so far in the past 24 hours. A few showers lingering around early tonight, and then that clears out. Your Friday should be nice, upper 50s, a mix of sun and clouds, so there shouldn't be really a lot to complain about there. A wider view of checking out what's going on, you can see we've got certainly some snow across the northern Rockies and the higher elevations, and then we've got that feed of moisture, and that's rain in the lower levels, but snow across the higher elevations of the Sierras. We've got rain coming down for cities like Spokane and Seattle, that Olympic Peninsula. It's been a soggy morning for you, and a steady feed of the moisture rolling off the Pacific across the Bay Area. You guys have a mix of sun and clouds right now, but you can see where we've got the focus of that moisture stream kind of riding up and into those mountains and getting lifted, and then getting that wintry weather across the higher elevations. That's leading us to winter storm warnings for portions of the Sierras, winter weather advisories across portions of Nevada, and you can see our winter storm watches that are going to go into effect as we move through the weekend across portions of the northern tier. Not just that, but we also have avalanche watches, a backcountry avalanche watch here for the central Sierra Nevada. This is between Yuba Pass and Ebbets Pass. This is including the greater Lake Tahoe area. So you want to be really careful there in that region. That is nothing to play with. We're expecting maybe feet of snow before all is said and done through this weekend from this particular system. You can see it there heading through your Thursday and into your Friday. We're still seeing that moisture, especially focused across California, the Great Basin region, and up into the Rockies. So, Alex, while we do have some risks coming along with it, we definitely need the moisture, so we'll take it. Spring system. Now, let's talk about what's happening currently, because we're already seeing kind of some of the makings of this first system that's moving through. We've got rain, a nice pocket of rain that's traversing across the state of Pennsylvania right now, but then we've got those showers and some pockets of heavier rain stretching all the way down through the Ohio Valley, into the Appalachians, and into the southern plains as well, or into the southern Mississippi Valley. This is moving across northern Mississippi. That's where we've seen some of the most rain and some of the stormy action so far. Tupelo, that rain has built in for you. Meanwhile, in Memphis, it's clearing out. Nashville, you guys are cloudy, but the rain has moved past you, and Knoxville, some showers are going to be around. Now, as mentioned, we do have a flash flood warning that's been in effect. This is until 10:15 local time, so we've got a little while longer on this. Between 2 or 3 inches has fallen in this region. Man, words today, really rough. So the cities of Cassville, Neosho, Seneca. So even though the rain had temporarily stopped, they kept that flash flood warning, and now we're getting another round of rain. So do know you could run into some flooded spots, especially in flood-prone areas around that region. Here's our pocket of rain that's moving through kind of in between Pittsburgh and Williamsport at this point. Cleveland, you've had a few showers. Charleston, you're kind of in between, but you've got this line of rain that's going to be moving in. Here's the system. It's pretty potent as we move through Friday and into the weekend. It's going to be moving eastward. So this is going to be impacting our weekend for some of us. I know that's not what you want to hear, but hey, you're getting a heads up, right? So you can tell that you need to plan accordingly. Some of us are going to have a split weekend where one day is good and the other day is not great. And I think that's the best kind of weekend, because then you don't feel guilty. Because you know how when it's like beautiful outside and you're like, man, I really should be out, I should be being productive, but I don't want to be. But if you get a split weekend where one day isn't beautiful, then you can take that not beautiful day and stay inside.
Well, look at you.
You know, I'm just filled with answers for all of life.
She has all the answers. We love it. We love it. Well, storms are not the only thing slowing down your travel plans, as more people turn to gas alternatives here for their vehicles.
Places across the Sierra Nevada. So let's talk about it, because a very active pattern that you guys have been currently in, and in for a little while. It was like we started out the wet season really great, and then it all kind of dropped off, and now we're getting a little bit more of that precipitation that is much needed. Here in Seattle, you've seen about a quarter, a little little more than 1/4 of an inch of rain so far in the last 24 hours. We'll finish off with that, and Friday will be looking much better. Across the region, we've got the snow for the higher elevations, the rain filtering in as that moisture off the Pacific is just absolutely funneled into the west coast. We've got some sporadic showers from Seattle all the way Spokane. You've seen on and off showers as well. We are going to have a mix of sun and clouds. We're going to have those coolish temperatures and some winds going along with this. San Fran, you had some rain earlier, but you've got a mix of sun and clouds at this point. But you can see where we really have a focal point of some of that rain running up against the Sierras. And then, of course, as you get higher in the elevations, you get the winter weather. And that is prompting that winter storm warning that you're seeing for portions of California, a winter storm watch going into effect for portions of the high plains up there. The Rockies going to get in on this as well. But we also have an avalanche watch for the central Sierra Nevada. This is kind of between Yuba Pass and Ebbets Pass. This is for the greater Lake Tahoe area. So be careful out there. That backcountry avalanche, certainly not something you want to get yourself caught up in with this very active pattern. So the faucet's on, and it's going to remain on through the rest of the day today, through your tonight, and into your Friday morning, through the day on Friday as well. You can see this is filling in across portions of the Great Basin region as well. At Salt Lake City, you guys are going to have some rain, some wintry weather. You're getting a little bit of it all. This is going to add up, as I said, to the tune of feet in some places, especially across the higher elevations of the Sierras. There maybe up to a foot across portions of the northern Rockies as well. That is the frozen, snowy precip, and the rain, a couple of inches, which of course will take, as much of this area is still suffering from drought conditions, and we do not need that as we're entering into the drier months of the year. Alex.
Well, how about this?
Through portions of southeastern Iowa. So, guys, you're going to have to pay attention to that forecast Friday and into the weekend, because some of us are going to be feeling the impacts of that system, and it's going to be a pretty vigorous one.
Yeah.
Whenever you see those systems wound up tightly like that, you know that you're dealing with a windy day, a rainy day in some places. So, yeah, plan accordingly.
Absolutely. Of course.